Carter. We've been analyzing the data you and Weaver collected from the Outsider facility. The results are unsettling. Based on the volume of contaminant found, as well as the layout of the nation's water infrastructure, we expect...
Over 2/3 of the population would have been infected within a few weeks if we hadn't stopped it. I can do the math.
As it is, tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands have been infected or exposed. It's getting harder and harder to keep the outsider threat under wraps. We can't afford to have the whole country panicking. We need to do something fast.
Agent Carter, report to Agent Weaver's office. Agent Carter to Agent Weaver's office.
Time to see what we got from Axis.
An armored drone provides excellent combat support, firing over cover and flanking enemies from above.
What's with the extra security?
Warning, sleepwalker infection is now known to be spread through contaminated water reserves. Operatives and survivors are encouraged to drink only trusted sources, such as collected rainwater.
Looks like you're finally gonna get to take a ride in this death trap, huh?
Wrong. You're the one taking the ride. I get to be the one flying it.
You think it's ready for the trip?
It's you and the rest of the team I'm worried about. This beauty is all ready. Assuming you can help me with one last detail.
You got a platoon of engineers and mechanics on this thing. What do you need me for?
Everything's up and running, but we're picking up evidence of leaks in the fuel system. Problem is, they're too small for us to spot with the naked eye.
Leaks? Should I be wearing a hazmat suit?
Nothing that dangerous, but it could cause a fuel leak in the field. Or an explosive chain reaction.
If it'll keep this contraption in one piece, count me in. But how am I supposed to help?
If you scan the Avenger with that thing on your arm, you should be able to detect the leaks. Point them out to us and we'll handle the rest.
That's all? Walk in the park, Barnes. You're leaking fuel here.
Okay, now track the pipe back to its valve and shut that off.
That's all of them.
That all you needed?
Just the last touches, yeah. And you might be interested to know you helped the techs track down a design flaw.
Flaw? What sort of flaw?
Nothing big enough to cause a problem, but they think they can get another 2, maybe 3% efficiency out of the engine.
We don't have time for a complete overhaul.
No, of course not. But they want to try some new layouts. Might help if we ever need to make a fleet of these babies.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Report. Multiple alien Titan-class aircraft observed in Flagstaff vicinity. Operations unknown.
Good job out there, Carter. Just hope it makes a difference.
Mein Gott! Be careful mit that delirium! We must have the utmost caution!
Things seem scattered. What's going on?
Herr Volkers had my best men working on a special edition for the Avenger. I hardly have time for our latest breakthrough.
Special edition. I don't like surprises, Doc.
Not to worry, William. Just a small contingency plan. But in the course of its development, we made a most remarkable discovery.
So what did you discover, Doc?
It is a cure for the sleepwalker infection. Or a possible cure, at least. It has yet to be tested on a live subject, but Dr. Hera has high hopes.
You said you're adding something to the Avenger. Isn't a flying saucer impressive enough?
I apologize, William, but Director Falk has demanded total secrecy on this project. Even the different teams do not know the full details of how their creations will be used.
That doesn't inspire a lot of trust, Doc.
I understand, William. I truly do. But Herr Falk saw how information about the Avenger got out, and he has no intention for that to happen once again.
Suppose I can't blame him. Suppose I can't blame him.
There is no way to put a simple number on that, my boy. We have a real chance, and that is more than we have had since this war began.
But if you were a betting man?
If I were a betting man, I would find a way to rig the system so that I would win. Because if I were a betting man, you can be assured that I would also be a cheating man.
Well, I'm glad you're cheating for our team, then. So you think you have a cure for the sleepwalkers?
One of Dr. Veer's projects involves disrupting the connection to Mosaic. With some minor modification, and the medical assistance of Dr. Hera, I believe it could partially reverse the effects of the infection.
Even a partial cure is better than nothing. Can I do anything to help?
Actually, yes. Dr. Hera has asked if you could assist with the first human test.
Why me? I'm no doctor.
I do not know his reasonings, but I am inclined to trust his judgment. If you have time, of course.
To find a cure, I'll make the time.
Wunderbar. He is preparing in the observation lab, and when you are finished, I would appreciate your report.
We've both got a lot to get done.
Indeed, William. In the next hours, we will decide the course of human history.
One way or another.
With refined delirium like this, we could provide enough power to light all of New York in the next few weeks.
That's assuming New York is left in a few weeks.
Well, that part's out of my hands.
Good. Heinrich finally sent you. Let's get started.
How am I supposed to help? You're the doctors here, not me.
The treatment has to attack the infection in a few ways. Medically, technologically, and psychologically. You're here for the last part.
Look, I'm glad there's a cure, but I don't understand what you need me for.
One of the things that baffled us about the infection is that even when we cleared up all of the symptoms, the patient still wouldn't respond to external stimuli. Eventually, we discovered that a psychological connection was necessary for recovery.
Psychological connection? What do you mean?
We need someone the patient knew to help bring them back. Records show that our test subject, Nico Dasilva, worked with...
You're experimenting on Dasilva?
Yes. He may be a sleepwalker, but he's still an XCom agent. That means taking risks. I'm sure he'd agree if he could communicate.
If it means bringing back Dasilva, I'm in. What happens if this doesn't work?
Physically, he'll be fine. But every time we attempt this without him recovering, he slips further and further.
Then let's get it right the first time.
Sounds like a plan.
So what will I be doing in there? I'm no surgeon.
Nurse Campbell will be handling all of the medical procedures and assisting you. We just need you to be an active participant and be ready to respond as he begins to come around.
What should I expect?
It's sort of like waking a sleeping child. They're trapped in a dream world, and you have to bring them out of it. Give them a reason to wake up.
Hell, why don't you just smack them? Always worked on me when I was a kid.
No. It can't be that violent or distressing. Try something friendlier. Something to draw them out.
I'm not known for being friendly, Doc.
I've heard. But too much pressure and they might retreat back to the dream world. Apparently, Mosaic has built quite a comforting prison in their heads.
Sounds cozy. I can see why they wouldn't want to come back into this world.
It's like breaking an addiction. You need to help them. But you have to be stern. But not so much that you drive them back.
Friendly, stern, but not too stern. Got it. Let's get to it. If you're right, this should be easy.
If it were easy, we would have cured it a long time ago, Carter.
Now hold still.
Looks like my time is up.
Not today, it isn't. He's all ready. Try talking to him.
How are you doing, pal?
Goodbye, Carter.
Come on, Dasilva. It's time to wake up now.
Just leave me.
Pulse is up slightly. You're getting through to him. Go on.
Come on. It's time to wake up, Dasilva.
No. More war.
Come on, Dasilva. You don't want to miss humanity's finest hour, do you?
Yes. Yes. Got to get up.
Keep going. Almost there.
That's right. You've got to wake up, Dasilva.
Got to get up. Yes.
You can't give up now.
Carter, I had the weirdest nightmare.
You've got him, Carter. He's awake.
What happened?
We'll tell you all about it, but first, we need to get you back to health.
Carter, I owe you another one, don't I?
Try not to talk now. You've lost a lot of strength. Heinrich will want to know about this.
Nice job, Carter. Looks like you were just what he needed.
Why would we be refining Illyrium to this degree? It's far too unstable to be used.
Ah, William. Good news, I hope. Come.
I was wondering.
It was touch and go for a while, but the cure worked.
Excellent. If the underlying process is successful, then perhaps we can find a solution for the messes.
I sure hope so. You can't get me to be friendly to everybody in the world.
I was surprised we were able to get you to do so for even one.
Back to work.
Whatever happens from here out, it's been an honor to serve.
There's gotta be a way to stop him here. Commander Axis, there are no signs of disarray among outsider forces. Increased Mosaic communications are believed.
Good, you're here. I need a word.
Angie, how are you doing with everything that happened?
Axis is dead. As for Pete, I lost him years ago, well. This was just the final goodbye.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Now, let's get back to work. We don't have much time.
What do you mean?
We were right. This attack is the precursor for a larger one. The rest of their forces will be here in hours. A day if we're lucky.
That doesn't give us much time.
No, but we can evacuate a few towns before their attack. I've sent several squads out to get started.
If we don't win the war, that's just delaying the inevitable.
Tell that to the survivors who get another day with their family.
Right now, we just need to know where to strike.
Already on it. The intel's been isolated, but we're still figuring out the exact coordinates.
This strike sounds like it'll be a one-way trip.
Maybe. I'm not going to worry about it. If we die, we die. I'm going to make sure that Origin comes with us.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
I've lost as much as anyone in this war, and I'll damned well be there to finish it.
You find what you were looking for back there?
I knew putting him down wasn't going to change much. It won't bring anyone back, but I can sleep a little easier. Thanks, Will, for giving me that chance.
I want you to know what happened with your brother back there.
Will, it's okay. You were right. It had to be done.
I only hope you'd do the same for me if it came down to it.
If it's you, I won't have to think twice.
Thanks.
But thank you, Will. And I'm sure Pete would thank you too.
There's not a lot of time.
Understood. Go check on Weir for the target's coordinates. I'll be ready when you are.
Reminder, extended exposure to unprocessed delirium is believed to be a serious health risk. Take necessary precautions.
Don't mind the smell. Some of the scientists have been working around the clock.
That's everything we need. Run those to the director and tell him I'll meet him at the hangar. Ah, Carter, just in time.
Got our travel plans ready, Doc?
Yes. I've just finished calculating the coordinates for our strike, and I've tested the Ven gate as well as I can, given the conditions.
We won't get a second shot at this.
Well then, I suppose it's now or never.
That's a strange thing to hear coming from you.
Sometimes the best test is a live one, Carter.
Not exactly filling me with confidence there, Doc.
If it's any comfort, I'll be in the Avenger as well. Should anything go awry, I'll be ready.
So, the data from Axis gave you the coordinates you needed. Where do they point?
Most definitely. They point to a particularly isolated point in orbit around the alien homeworld.
Where exactly is the alien homeworld?
It's hard to describe precisely without a star map, but it's approximately 600 light-years away from Earth, in the Cygnus constellation.
They're a long way from home.
Planets that can sustain our kind of life are few and far between, even in an infinite universe.
You've opened other Ven gates before, right? This isn't all just theoretical.
Of course. You were there when Lawrence and I opened the first one.
That didn't exactly turn out well.
No, but it worked. And we've had success in smaller tests since then, using recovered outsider technology.
Well, that's good to hear, I think.
Of course, the real test will be transferring something as large as the Avenger. We'll see about that soon enough, though.
Any idea what we can expect to find on their homeworld?
Thankfully, the outsiders seem to have a similar environment and gravity to our own. No doubt that's why they chose Earth for their conquest. But the rest may be, as they say, quite alien.
What sort of defenses would they have?
The Avenger's stealth ability should get us past the toughest defenses, but it looks like you'll have to do the last leg of the trip on foot.
Just me and my squad in an alien base? Sounds like fun.
Their security will no doubt be fierce, but I'm happy to say it'll be limited. They apparently try to keep Origin's location secret, so they can't garrison an entire army around it.
We're gonna be relying on your work. I sure hope it makes the grade, Doctor.
As do I. You're not the only one whose life is on the line. Can't say I relish the risk of dying so far away from home, but how many scientists have a chance to see an alien world?
Don't think of it as dying far away from home. Think of it as dying to save your home.
Yes. That's much more comforting, isn't it?
Carter, please report to Director Falk in ops. Agent Carter to Director Falk.
I suppose it's time. See you in the Avenger, Carter.
Get those evacuation orders out, and keep the agents defending the high-profile targets.
Yes, sir. Understood. We'll keep everything running until you return.
Your inexplicable confidence is noted and appreciated, Chelsky. Well, here's Carter now. Carter, good. I'm told that everything is ready.
Yes, sir.
Glad to hear it. We'll depart within the hour.
That's it?
Carter?
No speeches? Nothing to say?
This isn't the time for speeches, Carter. You know what's at stake, and you know the odds.
Yes, sir, I do.
I'd expect no less.
Don't sound so grim, old man. I'm not that easy to kill.
Every man has his limits, but if anyone can pull this off, it's you, Carter.
That's because I don't do things halfway.
And that's exactly why I picked you.
I just don't understand. Our missions have been a success.
No, your missions have been a success. If you call losing 2 towns and barely escaping with your objective successful. And even so, no one else has your success rate in the field.
We can get more agents, better training.
The outsiders are the ones with an endless stream of troops, not us. There's only one option. We've got to take the fight to them.
Hasn't this Origin been around for, well, forever for all we know? What if stopping him and shutting down Mosaic isn't as simple as shooting him in the head?
We've made every preparation we can with the information we have. But if that's not enough, well, you've shown a talent for thinking on your feet.
You're telling me to improvise? That's a change. What if we get there and I don't have the tools I need?
Don't worry, I've got a backup plan. But frankly, you're the best chance we've got.
Supposing we do manage to close the gates, what happens to the outsider forces on Earth?
I'm leaving a detailed battle plan. It's currently being distributed to the acting Joint Chiefs. The hope is that once we've separated our world from theirs, enemy supply lines will be cut off and the individual enemy platoons will be severed from the central command. This ought to give our military the edge they need to finish things.
Doesn't sound like you plan on being around for the cleanup.
The odds of us returning from this mission are slim. No use pretending otherwise.
I'm ready to go. I'll meet you in the Avenger.
You know what's at stake here, Carter, and you know the odds. You've survived this long. I know you're the right man for the job.